Their hands, raw and grotesque, were exposed. The man was hanging stiffly by a slip noose, his shirt ripped to shreds, with a thick stick piercing his belly. His black and swollen tongue had forced its way out between his teeth. His eyes were half closed. Intrusive white snowflakes landed on the man's hair. Perhaps this was nature's own way of concealing what had happened, thought Hartman, suddenly feeling cold. Once the area of woodland had been cordoned off and taken over by officers, Detective Constable Maria Wern accompanied the old man back to his home. The crime scene investigator, Erika Lund, was going to take care of the dog. His owner had been very reluctant to hand him over, but Erika promised they would return the body, so the dog could be buried under a birch tree next to the old man's cottage. Together, they walked down the gravelled road, the black tyre tracks winding their way between bleak-looking spruces, straggly birches, and dark juniper bushes, until the area opened up into marshlands. An abandoned hunting tower reached for the sky in greying tatters. The grass was resting deep down to its roots, and this year's foliage lay about, wilted and brown, sticking to their feet. On the other side of the marsh, you could glimpse the dusky red of the cottage. The deep furrows in the gravel track were muddy and filled with water. Both walkers kept to the verge. The old man talked incessantly about what had happened, going over the events repeatedly. Maria let him talk without interruption, for who knew if he had anyone else with whom to share this terrifying experience? Throughout her career, Maria had met elderly victims who'd completely crumbled after witnessing a shocking event because they'd had no one to talk to. A break-in, a snatched handbag, and they'd got trapped within their horrific experience, never to venture out into the real world again. They sat down in the small, old-fashioned kitchen, where brown medallion-patterned wallpaper and turquoise-painted cupboards coexisted in complete disharmony. There were 2 pairs of woolly socks gently steaming on a line above the wood stove. The copper pans on the wall had a newly polished sheen, as did the paler-coloured harness bells in the window. On the hearthstone, fresh candles in the 3-armed candelabra were waiting to be lit that coming weekend. Maria unfolded a map. Together they followed the stream towards the forest up to the point where the murder had taken place. It was a protected historical site, an Iron Age burial ground complete with stone.